can't clean your house around your business, what do you do? It's a great question. We're going to talk about it today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by Housecall Pro, and this is a software that's on your phone and also your computer, and it keeps track of all of your customer detail information. The names of your customers, where they live, their address, their phone number, their email, their animals' pets, the kids' pets, the brother and sister-in-law's names, all the things you need to know about the customer, including all of the packages that you've sold them throughout the year. It's hooked up to a scheduling program. It's hooked up to an invoicing program. It's beautiful. Saves you hours of work per week. Check it out at housecallpro.com/Angela. All right, on to today's show. There's a gentleman that wrote into the show, and I have his email here, and I want to read it. If you have a question, you can also email it to me, angela@askahousecleaner.com. I'm going to read this. He says, "Help me, please, Angela. My wife started an online e-commerce business where she buys and flips products. She sources products cheap from the clearance racks of stores like Marshall's, Kohl's, and Walmart, and then she sells them on Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor, and eBay. I support her business and all, but our house is getting out of control. There's stuff everywhere, bags of stuff, odds and ends that we trip over because there's no more room for us. On the weekends, she sources furniture from yard sales and thrift stores, and our house is wall to wall filled with things she hasn't sold yet. We can't clean the house because we can't get to anything. I mean, like, we can't clean our bathroom because there are 14 boxes of arts and crafts in there, stuff she bought from a closeout craft store, and it's all in the bathroom because there isn't anywhere to put it. Our bedroom has 12 wire shelves that we bought from Costco just to hold boxes of more stuff. It's not just the clutter that's bothering me, it's that we can't clean either because the clutter is in the way. Every counter in the kitchen is piled with bags of stuff. And now we have dirty dishes in a stack on the floor because there's no more room. Please help, I'm going crazy in Annapolis, Maryland." Okay. There's a lot of stuff happening here, and I love the fact that you said you support your wife in her business. And you also said she's starting the business. So I'm reading between the lines. I'm assuming this is a new business. So I want to take one step back for just a second, and I want to applaud you for being supportive while she starts this new business. I also want to take note of the fact that this is during 2020, which is during the COVID pandemic, when there were stay-at-home issues and people were staying at home trying to reinvent their lives and spend more time with their families. And that meant a lot of people took time off work or they had to quit their jobs. And then going back to school, lots of people who have kids now had to switch their job schedule around because their kids were not going back to school full time. So it's possible that your wife felt like during this period of time, she needed to reinvent herself in order to help support the family. Okay. So there's a lot of other things happening just besides clutter in the home. So I want us to be aware first and foremost that there may be other things that are going on that are influencing these decisions. Okay. Now, shopping is fun. Lots of people love shopping. I think I'm the only person I know that does not love shopping. And if I can pay someone else to do my shopping, I say, go do it, and then just bring me back the stuff if I need it. If I don't need it, then I don't need it at all. Don't even bother. But there are people who love it. And this sounds like a really fun job for someone who loves to shop, because sourcing projects, even clearance racks and going through things, and imagining how you're going to sell them and what price point you're going to sell them and all those things could be a really exciting, fun business. Okay. So I understand the excitement and the thrill, and that might be what she needs to keep going during this COVID pandemic. Okay. So I want to acknowledge all the steps along the way. Now, whatever's happening is doing so at the expense of the family. So if you did not intend to live inside a store, but yet you have 12 shelves that you've gone out and you've bought, and I know those wire shelves from Costco are not cheap. They're like $100 a piece. So I know that you've dumped a lot of money into buying shelves to support her business and to house all of these boxes and bags of things that she keeps bringing in, okay? So if you did not intend to live in a store, then you need to intend to not live in a store. And by that, I mean you need to make sure that the goal is that you don't live in a store, that you get rid of the shelves and that you have a bedroom again that is peaceful and it's a comforting place that you rest at the end of a long, weary day. And so what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at a new business that is taking over your old way of living. And I really want to pay attention, and I want to honor the fact that you are aware of that, because there's something really awesome about you that says, hey, our lifestyle changed and it's not what I'm accustomed to. How do we get back to the old way, or how do we get through this, right? So I love the fact that you are aware. When you are aware, you have choices. All right, so one of the choices that I would recommend as a small business owner is that you start having business meetings. And if you're supporting your spouse, it's possible you're also a business partner. And if that's the case, I recommend that you have a weekly business meeting where you start working through some of these issues. Will the day come when you will decide that you will hire or rent out a storage unit to store the things that are now in your bedroom and your kitchen and your bathroom and all of these things? Will you get a storage unit to house those items? Then the next thing is, are there boundaries? Are there rules and parameters on how long you're allowed to keep something that you've purchased before you sell it? And what happens at the end of that period of time if you haven't sold it? Do you give it away? Do you have a discount? Do you offer it for sale? Or what are the rules, right? Because if there are no rules, it is possible you have products that will sit around for years on end. Now, we know if you're saying that she's buying these on the clearance racks, the stores that were selling them were also trying to get rid of them. And so if they have a target market that comes in and normally buys these things, and then for some reason they were unable to sell them, then maybe you will have better luck online where you can reach a better audience. But we have to take into consideration that they were on the clearance rack for a reason. They weren't selling on the clearance rack, and so maybe the marketing has to shift a little bit so it's done differently. So how many days a week are allowed for sourcing? How many days a week are allowed to make listings? And how many days a week are used for cleaning and prepping the items? Because if the buying is what's happening and we're not moving stuff at a quick pace, then stuff's going to start piling on top of each other. And along with that, other things happen. Stuff gets stepped on, stuff gets broken. When you actually go to sell something, it's not going to be in the same condition that it was when you received it. It's possible food could spill on it. It's possible any of a variety of things could happen. So I want to make sure that if this is your inventory and this is the way that you're planning on making your money, that the stuff that you're purchasing is protected and that it's cared for so that it can be delivered in the same presentation style that is shown inside the ads or the listings, right? So there's a whole lot of stuff going on here. The fact that you are cognizant of the cleaning is really paramount. If there are 14 boxes of things inside your bathroom, I can just only imagine getting out of the shower and draping a towel then over these arts and crafts. And if the arts and crafts get wet from the towel or from moisture in the air, it could probably ruin those items. And so, yes, there's a risk to the way that you're doing this, and it's possible that it's just become so overwhelming so quickly. And so I love the fact that you are aware, but I would recommend at this point that you have weekly meetings and maybe even get involved with a coach. And there are coaches that are going through the same thing. They're helping people through the same types of issues. Now, one of the cool things is you're not alone. There are a lot of people that have reinvented their businesses and they've started e-commerce stores during the pandemic. And there are probably Facebook groups where there are people that do similar businesses, if not the exact same thing, that could help guide you and coach you through these different areas of overwhelm. Because right now it sounds like there's this new thing happening in your life and it's a little bit frustrating. And so in order for you to be the best supportive person to your spouse, what I recommend you doing is getting to a point where you have rules like no bags and boxes of store items that we're going to resell inside the kitchen. That's the place where we put our food, we wash our dishes, we need a sanitary space, and we shouldn't have our dishes on the floor because then they can get kicked, tripped, food can fall on the floor, mice can come in and eat whatever they want that's on the dishes. I mean, there are just a lot of reasons that we want to have some rules and some boundaries in place, right? So there are a lot of things to think about. I really appreciate you touching bases with me, and I want you to stay in touch. I'm going to open up the comments below because there are probably a lot of people that are watching this show that have solutions and suggestions and ideas for you. And they might even know Facebook groups or podcasts or training that you can get in touch with that will help you navigate some of these very specific situations so you can get your house back to a place of order and you can get back to a place of cleaning it. All right, thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for writing into the show. I really appreciate the support. If you found this helpful, please give us a thumbs up and leave your comments below so that we can help this gentleman out. I'm really interested to see what happens next. Until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.